Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to look at the uranium daily technical analysis. We'll look at the charts. I'll give you my financial opinion. We're going to dive in here. We're going to go straight to the charts. We got a lot to go through here. We've got the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. We are coming up right to the tip of this guy. Depending on how you draw it, it's right to the tip. It's still holding above its support line. So that's good for the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. URNM's getting a little bit shaky down here. We are breaking. I'm going to get this thing out of here and put a better line in there. Kind of draw it through here. This was the downtrend line that we broke to the upside. We're getting a little bit of a sell-off here. What is important is we want to hold above this guy here if we do come back below it. That's at the $60 level. So we want to hold above this, and we're going to probably fling around here for a little bit. So we got a little bit more selling pressure today. Looks like we're seeing that across the board. We're seeing more selling pressure. We blew through this support area down here. That's done. The upward move is broken, and we could be heading lower, guys. It is heading on down. Goviax, getting a little bit of a sell-off today. We are still above support. This guy's still holding. But we'll see which way it goes. It's got a nice little wick at the bottom, means buyers came in and bought it back up a little bit. Global Atomic, heading on lower. Again, I'd like to see this bottom support hold down there. We break that, we head lower. We head lower to the major... I don't know where this line's going. Sometimes it does this kind of weird. I'm going to put it there. And I'm going to put it, man, it's like right, maybe in there. So if I were to zoom in, we got a little bit down here, right about 240 is about where the support is. So let's see if we can hold above 240-ish. Forces Metals, I'm still sticking by this one. This got a nice little hammer pattern here. Hopefully we can get this thing to move on up right here. We came back down. This is a reversal candlestick to move on up, so I'm still holding next, by that. As long as the overall sector looks okay. Pure Point Uranium PTUUF. Again, we're right hanging around this support line, going back and forth on it. No revert. It still looks okay. I mean, it doesn't look great. It just looks okay. Deep Yellow moving on sideways. Nice little hammer pattern. Not really much to report there. Paladin Energy, another bullish engulfing right at support. I do like it there. Sky Harbor, SYHBF. This thing closed quite strong to the downside, a little more volume kick up. We could be breaking to the downside if this support doesn't hold. If it breaks to the downside, yeah, there's a bunch of support underneath it everywhere. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. NXE, Next Gen Energy. We're right on the support line. We'll see which way this thing goes. We've been bouncing all over the place with this guy. And remember, this could be getting dragged down by the overall stock market as well. Uranium seems to be more highly correlated to the overall stock market than, say, some of the other commodities. Canalaska heading on down a little bit. Baseload Energy just going sideways. It's holding its own there. Fission 3.0 right at support. Fission OG Uranium selling off, finishing quite strong. We'll see if this support line holds. It's right on support as well. Camco right on support. Jeez. Kazatomprom, we've got support right kind of underneath this here. But it's actually looking quite good with a small little down day today. That held its own. Peninsula Energy, PENMF. Again, down day today, but we're still at support still underneath it. Still looks okay. Boss Energy, this is a big bearish engulfing. We could break to the downside here if the sellers want to push it lower. We do have a lot of support right there at $1.40 though. So it's got a lot of support there. Lotus Resources, small down day. It's still looking good compared to the rest of the crew. Uroy getting a little bit of a sell-off. I'd like this line down here to hold, this bottom white line at 292. Encore Energy. Now, this is funky. We got a bullish engulfing, bullish piercing. We got some selling pressure here. We got a lot of buyers and sellers pushing this thing around. We have a bearish engulfing today. So we got to see where this goes. We got to see if this line holds at 96 cents. UU. This guy's got a little more selling pressure today. We're not doing the chopping sideways action. This thing could potentially rotate lower. A lot of selling pressure, and it finished quite strong today. URG, still looking okay. Small down day, nothing really to say there. A little more selling pressure, little wick at the bottom. Hopefully this line here at a 292 holds for UEC. LEU getting a little more selling pressure today. That's where that resistance was. It hit its head on the resistance and bounced lower. Lightbridge getting a little bit of selling pressure. Again, I still like this one. This is long-term support down here at the $5.50 mark or so. ISO Energy, ISENF. A little bit of selling pressure today. We'll see if it holds down here at support. APAAF getting larger selling pressure today. We're just bouncing with the overall market with this. Again, guys, I'm still holding on to my shares. Nothing I'm doing. DNN down a little bit. This was a good setup to go higher, guys. It still could go higher. Support's down here at $1.10. Blue Sky Uranium, small down day today, or small up day today. Still, I think we'll eventually go higher. Forum Energy Metals, a little bit of a down day today, just chopping sideways. AEC getting a little bit more buying pressure, coming back up off that support line, so that's good. Laramide, LMRXF, getting a little bit of selling pressure today, still looking okay. It's hanging in there. A little bit of selling. Well, it opened up but sold off throughout the day. The momentum is to the downside, so I'm going to have to get rid of this arrow. UEXCF tried going higher but came back. A little bit of it ended with a little bit of a down day today. And Mega Uranium getting the selling pressure today. Yuck. I don't like seeing that. Guys, we could break to the downside if the overall market tanks. If the overall market tanks, and you know what? Let's take a look at the overall market real quick, because it did. It was quite poopy today, and I've got a big arrow going down. It does seem like uranium companies are correlated to the overall market, and we're getting selling pressure. This does not look good to me for the overall market. The NASDAQ also sold off. It's heading lower. This, to me, looks like a total topping pattern for the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. Could the correlations, well, Roku got smoked, down 10%. And some of these stocks, guys, they're not nearly as, and the home builders too, they're pulling back as well. I'd actually buy the home builders after this is done pulling back, definitely. But the overall market's getting hit too. So there is a correlation there. It could drag our uranium sector down with it for a certain period of time. What I would do is I would look at this as a huge buying opportunity to cost average in very slowly, get your shares, pick your favorite companies. This is the time to pick the strongest companies. If they pull back, that's when you buy them. You buy them when they pull back. And I know that the views for uranium on the channel have dropped quite a lot for the videos, which also means that the interest has been dropping in uranium. So it's pretty lonely when you're buying, at cheaper prices, because it's usually the not in favor things to look at. People get excited when things go up. They get discouraged when things go down. What I do is I don't get excited when things go up. I get excited when things go down. I've rewired my brain differently. Now I'm going to wait to see where this bottoms out. If we look like we get buying pressure and strength, I'm going to buy more. I'm persistent, and I continue to purchase into things that have good value. In the long run, this will work out for us quite well, I think. But guess what? We're in the short term. I know people, they lose interest in some of these things when they go down. Obviously, I haven't lost interest. I'll be here every day talking about uranium because it's one of the best valued commodities in the sector. It is extremely cheap in relationship to gold. We've got gold going higher, which is making that relationship even cheaper. And I suspect that gold will go higher for a period of time, and money's going to rotate around. It's going to shift between commodities. It's going to shift between assets. And when this time comes, when the day in the sun of uranium comes, it will be a great play to move on higher. If you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.